Greetings to all of you. It is about 18 minutes past 4 in the morning in my country. It is Friday, the Christmas day of the Gregorian year 2020, from where my country, I crave leave to greet all of you live with all due respect and most cordially on this particular day. In fact, I should have begun this message by saying, Joyous Christmas or Merry Christmas to you on other occasions, other years of this particular day. But today, my heart is overwhelmed by the sadness of too many people, too many of my fellow citizens of the world, which include, no doubt, my fellow citizens of this country, but also my fellow global citizens throughout the world. In various countries, too many people have very seriously, even severely, been affected by so-called this plague caused by coronavirus or COVID-19. Pardon me, although I'm tired, but I'm going to take off my glasses because it's reflecting too strongly. But of course, the tears in my eyes may befit this situation, the very current situation of my own country and elsewhere in the world, when too many people are suffering, so many people are mourning the dead, even their loved ones, their relatives, friends, and indeed, even very close relatives like their own children or parents. Therefore, my wishes will be for all of you that may this day of Christmas and also this season of Christmas be a blissful one, even if not a very happy one for many, if not most of us. As I said in the past, and indeed if I'm not wrong, the word Christmas is derived, or the noun Christmas is derived from two different nouns. One is a proper noun, Christ as the Messiah, or Jesus Christ, and Mass, the common noun, which no doubt means Eucharist or communion, but also fellowship. Fellowship with Christ is true Christmas. But fellowship with Christ does not simply mean going to church and singing hymns or listening to verses read from the Holy Bible, the Torah, or even reading the Bible. Fellowship with Christ also means to communicate with those who are in desperate need. In the passage recorded by St. Matthew, or even quoted by St. Matthew, or Matthew the Apostle. Commencing at the 31st verse of the 25th chapter is very clear. Jesus Christ says, when he comes again, he will come not as a human being born of a human being, as he was according to the Holy Gospels, particularly Matthew, or Matthew's Gospel, Luke's Gospel, Mark's Gospel. But he will come on the clouds as the judge. And he says quite clearly that when he comes again and sits on his glorious throne in the company of the holy angels, he will separate the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right-hand side and the goats on the left. And he will say, and permit me, for quoting certain verses, even not exactly as they're written, but from my memory, and at the same moment I crave your pardon in case my quotation is incorrect or improper. But he says something like this: when the king comes in his glory, he will sit on his glorious throne with his angels, and he will separate the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep on his right hand and the goats on his left. And he will say to the sheep, "Come, you blessed one, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me a drink. I was naked and you clothed me. I was in prison and you visited me. I was sick and in prison and you visited me," perhaps would be a better version. And the righteous, whom he, the Lord, puts on his right hand as sheep, will say, "Lord, when did we see thee hungry and feed thee, or thirsty and give thee a drink, or naked and clothed thee, or sick or in prison and visit thee?" And he will say, "What you did to the least of these, my brethren," in the old version, and perhaps meaning brothers and sisters in our modern sense. "You did it to me, however least they may be." And he will tell the goats, "Depart from you, evildoers, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry and you gave me no food. I was thirsty and you gave me no drinks. I was naked and you did not clothe me. I was a stranger and you did not welcome me. I was sick and in prison and you did not visit me." And they will say, "Lord, when did we see thee hungry or thirsty, or naked, or sick, or even as a stranger, or in prison, and did not minister to thee?" And he will say, what you did not do to the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you did it not to me. And this is exactly the message of Christmas. The message of Christmas is not celebrating lavishly, enjoying a delicious meal with our loved ones only. It means to share what we have with others, however little that may be. It may be something material. It may be also something which cannot be grasped by our 6 human senses. like saying a friendly word to a person, though it may be conceived by years, the fifth sense, yet just showing a smiling face to someone who is depressed and encouraging him, as if to say, don't worry, I'm also there for you, I share your grief, as it is necessary at this very moment, particularly in order to minister to those who are in desperate need of a friendly work of consolation, of comfort, of encouragement. But our rendering of service is not limited to that. We can go a step further. We can share something that we have with others. It may be a little amount of money which someone needs very desperately. It may be sharing our meal when someone is very hungry. It may be pouring a glass of water into a glass and offering to someone who is extremely thirsty. It may be truly sharing our clothes with others who don't have any and are often exposed to the very biting and bitterly cruel cold outside. It may be visiting someone who has no relatives or friends left, perhaps due to the current situation caused by coronavirus or COVID-19. It may be also doing something far more practical, just helping someone to carry a bag who is unable to do so on his or her own. It may be offering a seat to someone on a public transport who is in desperate need of that seat. It may be accompanying somebody who is frightened to go on his or her own to a place because he or she may face danger of a kind or another. But we have a far greater challenge to face, even in our current situation. COVID-19 or coronavirus is not merely killing people or making millions of people throughout the world ill, or even making them unemployed, but by making them unemployed, also exposing them to the obvious danger of being trafficked as chattel to other places and sold into slavery. These may be grown-ups who often believe that when they leave their own places, whether their country or community, and go to another place or another country, for instance, from the underdeveloped world to the industrialized world, they may have a better future. As it happened time and time again and is happening almost on a daily basis. Even on Christmas Eve, I received the tragically grim news that a boat capsized and some 20 lives were lost, perhaps even more, who were traveling from a certain African countries hoping to go to Europe. But this may happen far more readily in the cases of children, even babies. Some parents, guardians or custodians of children may reach the wrongful conclusion the wrong conclusion that if they send their children away, the children would be better off, without really knowing what awaits such children. Those children are often abused and used as objects of pleasure. Pardon me not mentioning those words, as many of the viewers may well be ladies or even girls. And I was taught to respect ladies and girls, not to expose myself too directly by breaking every taboo. But even babies may be trafficked and used as they are being abused on a daily basis in various countries of the world, even in the industrialized countries, perhaps even in those countries which boast and claim to be so-called the very highly developed countries of the world. But another case is very common today, known as organ trafficking. Often, organs of babies and children are practically stolen from them by putting them under anesthesia, injecting something, decapacitating them, and then taking those organs out, extracting those organs and selling them at high prices, destroying the lives of those babies and children. But you and I, my most beloved, dear and respected friends, and most respected and honored viewers, can do something. We can speak out and speak up on behalf of those who cannot speak up or speak out on their own. We can try to do all we reasonably can within the frameworks of law, even international law, to discourage human trafficking and illegal slavery. We can do all that is possible for us as reasonable human beings to discourage others not merely from carrying out such methods, but also advocating such illegal and immoral businesses. We can discourage others by speaking out against such evils of the world. But it is not merely the human beings which concerns me today. Various species of the animal kingdom. Hardly a year ago, millions of species of the animal kingdom were scorched to death, even in that great and large country, also continent of Australia. I am referring to the bushfire, destroying so many lives in the animal kingdom. But this is not merely an accident which might have caused this. We human beings too frequently contribute towards such incidences which we try to pass off as accidents. Greenhouse gases caused by us human beings are not merely increasing global warming, but they are also destroying our nature as a whole. They are opening holes in the ozones, allowing ultraviolet rays coming from the sun, which used to be filtered by ozones, to enter the earth, which no doubt is destroying our atmosphere as a whole. But also, we are often too reluctant to think about the dangers caused by our luxury. For instance, when we drive a luxurious vehicle, exposing carbon dioxide and in various cases, no doubt, carbon monoxide, that fatal and deadly gas. We expose it into the atmosphere. When we try to enjoy our comfort by using various types of apparatus, we often expose various types of gas into the atmosphere, increasing global warming, which in its turn increases the grave danger of various types of natural calamities, like cyclones, tornadoes, floods, and no doubt droughts. We can protect our animal kingdom, to which we, as human beings, also belong. According to the Torah or the Holy Bible, we were created in the image of our Creator. But our Creator had the very purpose to protect his creation. He created, according to the Torah or the Old Testament of the Holy Bible, and each day he thought it was good. And on the final day, he thought what he created was very good, as found in the first 2 chapters of the book of Genesis, also called the book of Moses, Moshe. But we, human beings, created in his own image, are often too reluctant to think about the rest of the world. We endeavor to destroy it for our own comforts, for our selfish pleasures, desires, which often only lead to frustrations of various types and kinds and types. Therefore, my most beloved, dear and respected friends, and most respected and honored viewers of this video, I beg you, with all due respect, to come forward and protect our world. Protect our fellow human beings against all types of abuse, including the heinous crimes of human trafficking and illegal slavery, but also to protect the animal kingdom as a whole, but also to share the little we have with others. I thank you in anticipation from the very core of my heart and wish you blissful and hopeful season of Christmas in the coming Gregorian year 2021. Thank you once again. God bless. And I say goodbye in its true sense, derived from God abide with you, or goodness abide with ye. Take care of yourselves and the world as a whole, particularly your environment and your fellow citizens, even the global citizens of the world, and those species of the animal kingdom. Thank you once again.